Welcome back to One Consciousness. I hope everyone's okay after that very, very intense full moon last week. Just to mention as well, this transmission from the horses was given to me just literally the day after the full moon. So the intensity then was starting to wane, but was still very much there in the background. And it was the aftermath of all that intensity that it came through on. So initially, what they're showing me from the full moon is all the waves of the violet energy going into our bodies again and swirling around the intensity within all of our bodies. And that then took me to a vision of a theatre where the front of house was being prepared, had been prepared with all the cameras there, the lights were on, no one had arrived, the play wasn't about to start. But where the orchestra is, the lectern's been set up, all the chairs and everything for the orchestra had all been set up. So everything, if you can equate that to the 3D, was all being set up in the front of house. But behind the scenes, there's chaos. There's everyone running around, actors getting into their role, all having their makeup put on, their clothes, running through their lines again, getting ready, trying to get energetically into spiritually, maybe into their roles that they're playing. The orchestra starting to tune up, everyone getting ready behind the scenes. And that is what is going on in the spiritual world right now, in the universe, what we used to class as being behind the veil. But that veil has now largely come down in the background. So even though there's that feeling slightly now of that separation, it's nothing like it was before. Everything is the drums are about to start rolling. Everything is about to start happening. We are still in the birthing canal. And obviously the animals and nature, their concept of time is so different to our own concept of time. And that is where we are at the moment. So we are in the birthing canal still. We're moving further along it. Again, to put the analogies in there, everyone's getting the birthing room ready for the birth of the baby. All the instruments they need, all the staff are running around trying to get what they need. Everyone's getting prepared in the background. That is the constant analogies that they are showing me at the moment. So to go back to the solar eclipse from the 8th of April this year, the energy took such a positive and lighter tone at that point. And tone is the word that I mention due to the link between the sound waves and the transcendence of those in the cells in our bodies to vibrate. What they were telling me is at different chimes. And the word chimes here means the harmonizing of the energy in a particular space. So the harmonizing of the energy within our bodies, within those upgrades, is so important right now to be able to move through this space. So the intensity is constantly building. Many people are reporting feeling all of the energy movements that I was just referring to in their bodies and feeling in as the increased flow of fluids moves around their bodies. And it feels weird sometimes, really weird to feel in such technicolor what is going on in our bodies when we're not used to actually feeling in at that level. But that is what is required of us, as well as doing all the inner work psychologically and spiritually. Actually feeling where the transmissions from the animals, from nature, are coming into our bodies. And particularly over this intense full moon that we've just passed through over last week. So it is the shaking out and the shaking up of the energies that's continuing apace. Outwardly, the events on the surface are also rising in intensity. If you look at the political arenas, you look at health arenas, everything seems to be shaking up, shaking out in some shape or some way or form. It's all increasing in intensity, but particularly in the universe and what is going on in what the animals have always shown me as being the divine plan that we're all working through. So behind the scenes, all the animals and nature are working too, both physically on earth with us if they're accompanying us and walking alongside us here. So they're with us here, and also they too are working behind the scenes. The energetic links between the field of where they're working, both behind the scenes and here on planet Earth, it's increasing in its intensity too, and rising in its preparation for the new Earth. A feeling of everything is coming together now in divine order. So there are small pauses between each bout of intensity and the increasing flow, the increasing connection, increasing build-up, and the nervous anticipation of what we are about to experience and what we are currently going through. So even all of us who are aware of what is going on behind the scenes, no one really knows what's about to happen next. And when I say no one really seems to know, I'm talking about the humans here. I still feel very much that the animals and nature know exactly what is about to happen. And that is what they are guiding us through. So with that guidance, they're coming in force now. I can feel them around to remind us to stay in the present with these energies as we alternate between them. So we're feeling the flow and we're being in observer mode. And during all of that, to try to stay positive and reframe what appears to be a negative as shaking up, shaking out of the energies as we're in transformation of the biggest kind into absolute transcendence of where we are moving into now. So be with your own energy and delve into specifically what is happening within you. And it's different for us all, dependent on many, many factors. So we may be feeling this energy different to someone else. Stay with your own energy and the uniqueness of it and what is happening for you to determine your part in this transcendence as it unfolds. Let yourself be guided in your response to all these movements in your heart and through your heart. So what they've made very clear to me is that we can't as humans do this on our own. We're all working together on it. As I mentioned, the animals and nature are very aware of all that is happening. This is their natural state of being, to be so energetically and spiritually connected in to the oneness of all. And it's us humans who've got so much to learn from them and to be guided by them. They're urging us all to work with them now, to ease the path for us all, to get our voices out there and to get their voices out there, to be heard so that we can understand at a soul level in our hearts where the transmissions are, where they are, where you're feeling them coming through in your body. And that is where the knowledge is, the sacred part of us, where we connect in with the oneness. I hope in future to be able to put more of their visions out there on these videos, to actually find a way of showing you in glorious technicolor what they actually show me, because I think this will then be a lot more powerful and make a lot more sense about what is actually coming through from them. So now moving on to the transmission from one of my horses this week. She's talking about the turbulence out there. And obviously we're seeing a lot of very serious turbulence in airplanes as well at the moment. And a lot of people getting hurt from the chaos of the turbulence. We are also feeling that now. Symbolically, we had the horses with one of them with a lot of blood on running around the streets of London. As you remember a few weeks ago, there's a lot of symbolism happening on so many different levels. And this isn't going to always be this way, the horses are telling me. She's saying to hold tight, keep calm, keep centered, and breathe. This is the dawning of a new era in full. So much brighter, lighter, and you'll be able to see into all of those chasms. There'll be more transparency, so we will be able to see where we haven't been able to so far. Where we felt the veil, there won't be a veil anymore. Where we've seen illusion, we won't be seeing illusion anymore. We've been shown it's one way, when behind the scenes, she's saying, it is entirely different, which is confusing for those searching for the truth often, yes. But what she's saying now is that this intensity had to be there. It had to be there for everyone to experience, and to the extent that we've experienced it and still are experiencing it. She's saying we had to do this. The inner work is a prerequisite to ascend. The deep, deep inner work to unravel yourself, deal with the dark side of your psyche, of the collective psyche, releasing it and understanding yourself and understanding your part, your role in this ascension. Go deeper and deeper into the depths of yourself, to your soul. And if things weren't so dark, no one or barely anyone would choose to go there, to those actual depths they're requiring of us at the moment to explore. Trust yourself, she says, as you move forward now. She's also asking for us all to put our headlights on, metaphorically, to see as clearly as you can. You will see the destruction as you go. You'll see that destruction in front of you in your headlights. It's unavoidable to see it. But at this point, it will move to the wayside now. Your path will be clear. And the conflagration will stand up. There's a very strong sense now of moving forward energy after so long in waiting. There is a great deal of grieving still, but this time is now moving forward, leaving a lot of that behind. Going back to last week's video about the mountain that she was talking about, she's showing me that mountain, that same mountain, I believe, in the distance again. The same mountain as last week. We're moving in that direction, she says. Something pivotal, I feel she was showing me last week, is going to emanate from that mountain. I have absolutely no idea what at this point. But we are, in this vision she's showing me this week, moving in the direction of that mountain again. But with the mountain to the right of us. We're currently on the approach, full steam forward, and she is driving this metaphorical train. She is driven, she's on a mission, she's heading forward with total and absolute focus. I have the utmost faith in her, as always. Our destination is currently unknown, but on its way.